I think, at Amelia when we saw it last year, I was totally blown away. And, obviously there's a lot of other people doing safari builds, and it was on your own take, which was great. I kind of want to rewind a little bit about it because it kind of went viral for a little bit. It was pretty funny when you guys put the Cup car on the roof. Yeah. Tell us the story, gives the listeners the background, because there's probably people that not sure or didn't hear the whole story. So how did that even happen? Like, with people talking shit basically, and they're like, look, this thing can't do that. Like, that rack's garbage. Like, whatever, the structure, you can't handle this. Is that kind of how it started? And you were just like, all right.
Yeah, I mean,
time to prove you wrong.
You know how people are on social media.
Trolls.
And,
yeah.
They always big talker when they're behind a computer screen. Uh-huh. We first debuted the car at Radwood Austin, which awesome show, by the way. And we had a rooftop tent on it.
Okay.
And we just thought it'd be kind of cool to, kind of the Overland Porsche, right? And the car's got a really, really robust cage built into it, and the roof rack's tied into the cage, and a bunch of photos and magazine articles came out about it, and the trolls are like, oh, you could never put two people on the roof of that
oh
thing.
Wow. So they were like, two people can't sleep, you'll just mess it up. Yeah
There's no way you could put two people on top of a Porsche. And then we were having a conversation about it, and it's like, well, how do we prove to people that that this is robust, this is real?
Yeah.
I mean, this is engineered to work, right?
Yeah.
And we're talking about trying to put a bunch of our big heavy hitter staff guys on top of it and take some photos, and then from there kind of evolved into
men's men.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of evolved into. I've got a Volkswagen LT35 bus.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm putting it on the roof. Nice. And my wife's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't about the question of the integrity of the structure. It's how do you balance it?
Yeah.
Because the roof rack, to make it look right with the roof line, slopes backwards.
Absolutely.
So,
the body lines. Yeah.
Yep. So we built a wooden pallet that was basically the shape of a wedge, so we could level it back out.
Okay.
And put a Cup car up on the two-post lift and rolled the car under it and pumped the tires up to like 60 pounds and set the Cup car down on it, and then it was kind of nobody's going to believe that it's that it's not somehow suspended by the hoist. So then you got to push it back out in the middle of the room and take some video.
Yeah. It was like an all-afternoon event.
It was probably in a better part of an hour to build the pallet, and then it didn't take too terribly long.
Was there a butt pucker moment that, like, when you're going that hard when you're putting that car on there?
I was absolutely not worried about breaking anything.
Uh-huh.
I was scared to death of it teetering and falling off.
Yeah.
Which would have made a great video, by the way.
Yeah.
But it would have been awful.
It's like an Elon Musk video. Right. These windows don't break for shit. Exactly. And it's like, break the other
one. Good news, car didn't break until we crushed it.
Exactly. Yeah. Cut the video.
Okay, post it. It's awesome.
Exactly. No, that's awesome. And you guys built all that in-house, right? Like the rack and all that stuff's custom, correct?
Yep. Yeah. Pretty much everything that we do on the car is, we do 100% in-house.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. It's the only way you can control the quality, you can control the timelines.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You don't. That's so rare nowadays too, because and to each their own. Whatever car builder is out there that wants to do what they want to do, but like you said, it paramount, like the QC on it. If you're sourcing third-party stuff, now you're on their timeline too, because what if that third party's backlogged?
Yeah,
now the car gets delayed, right?
Right.
Or at the end of the day, and I love your ethos behind that too, where you guys keep it, because you don't want to leave room to have an excuse to say, well,
it wasn't me.
We didn't make that rack, so that's why, all your shit fell off of it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I mean, in the end, you can take, all the credit for it, but you're also responsible.
I was going to say, that's double-edged, right?
Yeah.
Like, you live in all the glory or you die with it too, right? So it's one of those type of situations.
Exactly. And man, we've got, some amazing craftsmen at the shop. I mean, from different walks of life, and, some from dealership experience, some from, never going to school and just, working with their hands, and, just, we've got a lot of tenure and a lot of good people. Just, some real artists and, people that are just incredible and amazing.
Yeah. So share with not necessarily trade secrets, but some challenges. What are some challenges when you build a safari car to that degree and that level? Because you've gone through the entire car, so it's essentially an entirely new car.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some time-consuming ones, or some challenges as far as a builder goes when you go through that process? What are some of the things that you guys have to deal with?
I think one of the biggest struggles, that we have are the time and cost restraints. I don't like. Hi.
Wow, this kid's got a loud voice, doesn't he?
I don't like doing cookie cutter cars.
Uh-huh.
We like pushing the envelope. We like doing something different. We like to one-up our previous build.
Yeah.
If we did more of the same thing, we had more repetition.
Uh-huh.
There's some economy in scale.
Yeah.
But it's not what we're really about.
Yeah.
We like doing bespoke. We like doing different. Most people aren't idiots like me and do a rotisserie restoration on something you're going to take out and destroy.
Take to the lake bed, right?
Exactly. Yeah, man.
But you know what it is once you do it. There's no questions. It's like, oh wow, that gave out, and you're like, well, we didn't really look at that. We thought it'd be okay.
Yep.
So I guess you're not leaving any stone unturned in that situation.
Literally touching every fastener.
Yeah.
And replating or replacing. Suspension stuff is all. We do completely custom one-off stuff and build our own control arms and.
Yeah, which is a huge peace of mind from a customer standpoint. I could imagine if I was buying something from you as a customer, that would make me feel really good, and that would be outstanding because I know that everything has been touched. That's a good peace of mind thing, and it's probably good peace of mind for you guys too, because you're like, look, everything in this thing, we've done everything to it.
Touched, seed over and over.
Yep.
So when you break it, you break it.
And there's good video evidence out there that we put it through the paces and test and try, and when you're trailblazing new ground and you're doing new development on parts and pieces, things are going to fail.
Yeah.
Right. And you got to know what those things are so that you can make them better and improve the customer cars, and it's a pretty good proven process at this point.
So now you said like you're doing some, based on the customer, what they want for the most part, do you keep the car for a little bit to try to dial it in a little after the build is done and go beat on it a little bit before you make a customer delivery to be like, okay, she's ready to go?
Yeah, we won't really take it out and really thrash it too much, but definitely it'll have 200 to 400 miles put on it when it's completed.
Yeah.
The process is good enough now where I would say the car is 95% when we get it done, but inevitably there's always something that that has to be worked through.
Yeah.
The car that we delivered to Mike Joyce this weekend, he took the delivery of it on Thursday night at the
beautiful
mall.
car.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Texas, right?
Yep, Texas.
Yeah.
It's snowing and salty in Wisconsin right now, so we had zero drive time on when we're getting it here. So he's gotten the opportunity to drive it before we've had a lot of time in it, which is not ideal for what we normally want to do.
You don't want him finding things before you find
them. Exactly. Flew a technician down to meet the car down here. He got some miles on it.
Okay. So he took delivery here at DRT with it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So you got to beat on it a little bit here and enjoy the event and all that kind of stuff. That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
So we got a handful of little things we need to refine. We'll take it back to Madison after this, and then we'll bring it back with us to Amelia.
The interior in that car is gorgeous. Like, talk to me about that interior, because it's such a cool build. Like, what is that in there? Like,
So it's Mike actually he picked the materials. It's kind of like a distressed saddle leather and a really cool tartan pattern.
Yeah.
Funny story about the interior. That was one of the only things that we hadn't been doing in-house, and been a position that we've been advertising for and looking for the right person. And this really nice young kid, Luke, sent an email through the info at Kelly Moss email address saying, "Hey, I'm moving to Madison and I do interior work. Are you looking for anybody to help with the interior?" I'm like, "We need to talk right now."
I need you.
And
can you get here tomorrow?
Exactly. And he was living in northern Wisconsin, doing a lot of hot rod stuff for SEMA builds, and he'd gone I think to Wyotech for for doing interior. And,
Very
he
cool.
was, just a really cool guy.
Uh-huh.
And had a good conversation on the phone and said, all right, well, let me think about it. I'll call you back. And I think 30 minutes later, I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
And brought him in, and I'm super excited about his trajectory.
Yeah.
Really talented kid, good eye for detail.
Yeah, he did great work on that.
You can tell the work
for
ethic
sure.
is there.
Yeah.
And he's a great addition to the team.
That's huge. Yeah, that's good to have somebody come in seamlessly and then adapt to the culture of what you guys do already.
Yep.
That's hard to find.
It is. Another thing I kind of like, and you'll see in most of our builds, I mean, it's very traditional Porsche, but it's also very non-traditional.
Yeah.
We like to take a traditional thing and put a little twist on it.
Of course.
And he did not come from a Porsche background, which I think is really fun. So kind of bringing some of the other work he's done for hot rods, and
bringing an untrained eye to it, which is
Exactly.
kind of a cool thing.
Exactly.
Exactly. So now since that point, is he your resident upholstery person now?
He is. He works
Good
out
for
of our shop.
Good for him.
He does such great work, and we have such a backlog on stuff now. He actually has an apprentice in training.
So he went from being the head,
New
you
guy.
need somebody, to being a boss already.
Exactly. So yeah, that's working out great.
That's awesome. So how many, safaris, or, they obviously not necessarily all have to have safaris, because you do all types of stuff. You do, any kind of build anybody wants. But do you have any safaris in queue right now, or what's going on with that?
We do. I don't even know how many we have in queue.
Okay.
I think Mike's is number 7.
Just ballpark wise, if
Seven or
somebody wanted to go with you guys for a build like right now and say, I'm going to put a deposit down, like roughly, obviously we're not going to hold you to this, but just projecting out, how long are we looking at? 2-year waiting list? Like, what are we looking at?
It kind of depends on the scale of the build, right?
Uh-huh.
If it's a mostly mechanical build,
Okay.
we can do something like that, relatively quickly.
Okay.
8 to 12 months.
Okay.
If it's a rotisserie build, I mean, those are, they're a 9 to 12 month process of doing it. So yeah, the backlog now. I mean, we're booking into 2023.
Okay.
For some of our projects.